Well, today I'm going to take that piece of hackberry that I had on my 2014 for test purposes, and I'm going to finish turning a small bowl out of it. So let's get back to the 2014 and see what it looks like. Face shield on, power switch moved. I'm going to crank this up a little bit. Got some cracks, and that's okay. Maybe I can turn, I'll see how much of those I can turn out. It didn't look very bad. I'm not quite the shape. I got to get rid of all this bark. And no, I didn't bog the lathe down. That was my safety drive slipping. Not quite there. There's a little bit of spalting in it. I didn't expect to see any. There's none over here. Yes, I'm hogging the material away. That was a pretty decent cut. Almost. Well, we got some check in here too. So it probably goes all the way through if I had to guess. But that's okay. I can fill that with black CA. I'm a poet! Almost, not quite. There's a little dip right there. RPM's getting slower as I get closer in, so it's not cutting as well, but that's okay. I got enough of it. Got rid of that dip. And yes, that was a peeling cut with a skew. I'm trying to figure out what kind of shape I want to make with this. If I want to go more traditional, whether or not to leave some of this bark on, the bowl will end up about a ½ inch smaller if I go any further. I just don't know. But I don't like the looks of that. I don't like the looks of that bark. It was vibrating like it moved, and I know it didn't. Almost. Almost. Let's do a shear scrape and we'll get rid of that, I think. Nice little wispy shavings coming off. Okay, nice clean cuts. Not much tear out at all. But none really, except for around the... Okay, a little more. By cracking that gutter, before I go any further, I'm going to fill these cracks with thin CA. The grain runs this way, and I don't have any I don't have any wind shake or ring shake that I can see. It's all just because how it dried from the fifth end. I'll hit this with some black CA, and when it's cured, I'll come back and we'll continue. The cracks are full, but this hackberry sucked that black dye and that CA up like crazy. And it's going to do that all the way through wherever the crack is. Not a problem. I have a solution, a plan even. I don't mind dyeing wood, and I don't mind staining wood. And I don't really like painting it, but I may. Anyway, regardless, I'm going to use color on this. First things first, I'm gonna make this nice and flat, cut this off, and turn it around and put it on a glue block. So when I get that done, I'll come back. Glue block? What's this glue block stuff, Billy? You've got chucks, why aren't you using them? Well, I'm gonna use a glue block to show you another way. In case you don't have high-dollar chucks, you don't really have to have it. All you need is the faceplate that came with your lathe, a piece of scrap wood glued to it, get it nice and flat, or screw to it, piece of wood screw to it, get it nice and flat, and then you can glue your piece on if your surface is flat. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll come back. Got my face plate with my glue block on it. Let's flatten this off. It's flat enough. Okay, nice and flat. Got my DeWalt quick temp glue gun all ready to go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run a nice bead of glue. This is, I like Gorilla brand glue sticks for this kind of stuff. Put a nice liberal amount on there. Put it in the center point. Let's see if that's running relatively true. Okay, it's not completely true, but it's close. It'll do. No, you don't have to use hot glue. I could just have easily have used wood glue and have many times before. I just don't want to have to wait for it to cure overnight before I start putting pressure on it. And this I'll be able to start turning in 30 minutes or so. Harden up. Okay, let's roll. I'm not going to take the middle out of that yet because I want as much stability out here as I can get, and if I remove this, it will remove the stability. And we'll end up with a harmonic situation going on. This is about the wall thickness that I want. And you can already hear the harmonic. Okay, that cleaned up the tear out. I'm not watching where the tool is, I'm watching up here because I'm refining the shape. Time to get this out of the way. Okay, let's see what we can do. Maybe wetter than I thought. Okay, meter says this pine block is at 10%. It is awfully humid out right now. Humidity is 79% here in the shop. Meter says this pine block is at 10 and this hackberry is at 12. So it's not as dry as I thought it was, but it should be okay. I hope. We'll see. Okay, that's good. Let's give it a bit of a scrape. No tear out, thickness is good, so let's hollow it out. Got the tiniest little ridge right there. Nice, that'll work. That will work. I've taken it as deep as I really want to.
that'll do.
That will do. Okay, I need to take that down a little more in the middle. Much better. That'll do. The rest of that'll sand out. Let that dry for a little bit. Now we sand. Put a couple of coats of shellac on it, sanding sealer. This is pretty thin, just about 1/8 of an inch. So when this dries, I will put 1 coat of antique oil on the inside. Tomorrow, I'll come out and put another coat, and I'll keep putting coats as long as it needs it. I'm gonna put a nice coat, liberal coat of antique oil in here. This is one of those woods that I don't mind it ambering a little bit because it's already yellow. That's a pretty decent coat. Nice and smooth. And tomorrow I'll do another, and the next day another. However many, I mean, I don't know yet. Okay, shooting this with some black. Just using black primer because I know it won't penetrate. Take this painter's tape out now, that I protected the inside good from any overspray. Y'all can't see this, but that's okay. What I'll do is I'll show you the result when it's over, but I'll let you see the process. I've got these paints on this board. I'm rolling up this little piece of plastic, and I'm a daubing. So this is what all that little dabbing and stuff I was doing looks like. Boy, that green looks more yellow on this camera monitor than it really is. It looks really yellow on the monitor and looks green as on the bowl. So I'm gonna let this dry overnight, and I'm gonna sand this down some because I don't think I want it textured. And right now that Arteza paint is thick enough, it's gonna be a little textured. So I'll sand it down some, just smooth it out quite a bit, and then I'll put a finish on it, and we'll part it off and finish the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna go over this with some 400 to try to smooth some of this out. I don't like I don't like the texture. I should have thought of that yesterday. I could have smoothed it out somehow then and had less of this to do. We'll see. It was suggested that a couple of accent grooves in this would give it some character. So I'm going to use urethane, oil-based poly on this, because Kim told me that Arteza told her that these colors, or these paints, play better with oil-based poly than water. So that's what I'm going to use. Boy, it changes the looks of the colors. Let that spin slow for a little bit. Okay, I'll let this dry for an hour and I'll come back and hit it with another coat. Time for coat number 2. And I'll repeat this process 1 or 2 more times. I'm not sure yet, but I may not need to. Okay, the finish is dry. It looks good. I'm going to try something that I learned from a friend of mine, Gary, Papa 1947. Oh, and I'll put a link to Gary's channel up there. I didn't apply the axe before I applied the finish like I used to. Gary's been applying it on top of the finish, or to smooth out and polish the finish. And he's had really good look with it. I really like the way his bowls are looking and his other pieces. So I'm gonna try it. Get it all rubbed in good. While it did dull the finish down quite a bit, it is smooth. So let's see what happens when we hit it with the polish and restoring paste. Gary's stays nice and as shiny as it was before. This is not. I don't know why, but it looks and feels good. It's just not glossy, but that's okay too. It's wood. All right, let's part this off and turn it around and finish the bottom. Okay, that'll work. Use a little Howard's feed and wax on the bottom just to protect it. It's got sanding, couple of coats of sanding sealer on it. Let that soak in. About 20 minutes, I'll buff it off. So here it is, my painted bowl with Arteza iridescent paints Not glossy by any stretch of the imagination. But it does have some sheen to it, so I mean, I would say it's more of a satin or a semi-gloss, and that's okay too. It's nice and smooth, but it still has a natural wood look to it, and I like that. And it's not a very big bowl, 5 3/8 by 2.5, but it was just a piece that I threw on the lathe to test out my sound deadening techniques, and I went ahead and finished it because, well, I don't want to waste wood. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. I do. I mean, I really do. If you'd like to help support the Messy Studio in any way, there's a number of ways you can do that. Swag, go to my website right here. You can buy t-shirts like this one, caps like this one, coffee mugs, or some of my turnings like this little bowl. You can use my Donate PayPal Me button in the description below. Again, none of this is obligatory, but it is appreciated. Be sure to visit my sponsors. Oh, and you can also help by using my Amazon affiliate link. It's in the link below, in the description below as well. Anything you order there using that link, no matter where it is, you search all over Amazon. Anything you order there, I get a few pennies for it. It doesn't cost you any more at all, and that really helps us out. So thanks again. Y'all have a good week, have a safe week, and remember, live, laugh, and love. And y'all come back. I've got something special planned for the coming up in the not so distant future. But I got to get these last 4 cane buddies knocked out. Y'all come back and see us.